What's going on YouTube? My name is Sweat. Welcome back to another Apex Legends video. In today's video, we're going to be going over 5 common mistakes that every single person in Apex Legends makes at some point in time or another. That includes you guys. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and go give me a follow on Twitch. The link will be below. Come hang out when I'm live anytime. I love interacting with you guys, and I love to meet more of my subscribers, of course. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, starting it off with a popular mistake I see being made, especially when I spectate random teammates, is that they aren't shield swapping enough during gunfights. Now, if you're a more experienced player or have a good amount of time played on Apex Legends, then you should be aware that you can shield swap. But if you're completely lost and in the dark about this, have no idea what I'm talking about, shield swapping is the act of taking your own broken armor or shield and swapping it out with an enemy's that would then end up giving you full shield depending on which color they have. So a common thing that I'll see when I spectate people is that they'll knock one enemy when their teammates are nowhere to be seen, and then they will proceed to heal up their current shield even if they have a basic white shield in preparation for the rest of their teammates to show up. There's 2 reasons that you shouldn't be doing this. Number 1 is that you will be using your own heals, which absolutely makes no sense when there's a down enemy right in front of you with plenty of heals most likely. And number 2, healing up fully takes way too long. Most likely by the time you fully heal, the enemy's teammates will already be shooting at you. Instead, what you should be doing is thirsting or full killing the down guy and swapping your shield out for his. This will not only save you a ton of time and a ton of heals, but also put you at full shield as soon as you pick his up. One quick thing about this tip though, is sometimes it takes forever to get into loot boxes, especially on console, so just beware if you're trying to shield swap in a rush. Alright everybody, welcome to the firing range. I just want to explain this one more time in case people don't understand what I mean by this. So let's say I have a gold shield. This is like armor swapping, shield swapping, whatever I was just talking about. And I'm going to grab some meds real quick. So, let's say that I got shot. Pretend I got shot right here. And look, I barely have any shield left. Shield swapping would be walking over to another person's shield. Let's say this guy got killed, right? I shoot this guy. P20 is terrible. I shoot him, okay. He's got this shield on his box. Instead of healing up, instead of me going like this, taking that amount of time, if I didn't have a gold shield, let's say I had a purple shield. Let's see how long it would take. So I get hit by that, right? So it's going to take about 4 seconds. Now about 3 seconds to heal up. Instead of, I could just grab a purple shield on this guy's body that's down. Grab that, perfect. And then it's over. I don't have to use my own heals. I don't have to use my own shields. Yeah, it's way faster, guys. Just implement this into your game ASAP. I know it's a little tougher grabbing it on boxes, but like I said, console players will struggle with that a little more than PC players. With mouse and key, they can grab shields quicker, but that's about the basics of shield swapping and why you should implement it in your game, guys. Alright, movement is key. Anybody who has played Apex Legends, even if it's just for a few days, could tell you that. And yet I still see people shooting their guns while standing still or sniping while standing completely still. You want to always be moving, and I can't stress that enough. The only times where it's acceptable to be stopped moving without cover around you is when you're looting boxes quickly for meds on controller or something, or you're just about to snipe at somebody. So during gunfights, how do I keep moving, you're gonna ask me, right? Well, this is everybody's favorite S word. Salami. I'm just kidding, guys. It's strafing. The act of moving left and right during a gunfight in order to avoid damage and enemy bullets. One key aspect of strafing is taking into consideration what weapon you're using while doing it. Now, shotguns, pistols, and submachine guns will allow you to strafe faster, while snipers and LMGs will limit your mobility quite a bit while strafing. Your next question is most likely going to be, how do I remember to do this during gunfights? I really struggle with this and I end up standing still most of the time. My answer is just to force yourself to do it. Every single fight, whether you win or lose, just practice strafing the entire time. If you wanted to even put a note on the corner of your screen or a notification on your phone even to remind you, I don't really care, whatever works. Just think of different ways to remind yourself, and then eventually it will become habitual. Alright everybody, welcome back to the firing range. I wanted to explain a little more about why strafing is so crucial, and I just want to demonstrate a couple things. Like I said earlier, you are going to be able to move faster while using a submachine gun, shotguns, and pistols while strafing, as you can see right here. I'm moving pretty quickly while I'm strafing. If I switch to the Spitfire, it slows down super dramatically. You always want to be moving, especially in games when you're out in the open. Never want to be standing still. And while you're strafing back and forth, shooting your R99 at this guy, right? Taking shots at him. You're going to want to be crouching, throwing in a crouch every now and then. You don't want to be just standing still, strafing back and forth either, because that's probably not going to be too hard to track you. When you're going back and forth, be shooting, throwing a little crouch every now and then. And you can even crouch spam if you want to. I have a scuff. I know a lot of people are asking me how I'm crouch spamming, and that's with my scuff controller. Just go like that really quickly. I don't know how that guy's not dead. But yeah, throwing in a crouch now and then will make you really hard to hit. It's a lot more efficient than just simply strafing back and forth. But if you want to do it the most basic way, then you can just strafe back and forth. It will definitely make it harder to hit than you just standing still shooting at him like this. You know, if you're moving back and forth, the guy's aim is going to have to go like this and not just sit on your target, you know what I mean? So, yeah, very efficient, very effective method to winning more gunfights, in my opinion, is strafing back and forth, throwing in some crouch spams. The third common mistake is looting for too long or not being aware of the third party. How many times have you been looting in the wide open only to find yourself getting popped in the mouth by an enemy's Kraber or a longbow? Too many times, for me at least. Now, a lot of players that I run up on will still be looting when I arrive on the scene, either because they don't hear me coming or they aren't aware of their surroundings at all times. This is a prime example of why you should never be looting for too long if you're out in the wide open without cover. Only grab the essential items such as meds, shields, and ammo at first. Then once you secure the area and make sure that it's clear, you can go back for things like attachments and grenades. Another thing to take into consideration is that there could always be a third party lurking in the shadows, waiting for you to loot some boxes so they can get some easy headshots off on you. This is why if you have teammates with you and you're communicating well, I would recommend that someone always be watching out at all times if the other two are looting boxes. This will make sure that all three of you don't get gunned down in a tough situation and the third party gets the best of you. This is something I see a lot of people in the comment section always mentioning, and it's how they always are way too aggressive in certain situations and don't know how to dial it back. First off, I want to say that I completely understand where all of you guys are coming from, because I am the same exact way sometimes. Secondly, we're going to need to find a way to fix this problem because it's getting us killed more often than we would like. So here is my solution. Analyze the situation in 3 different ways before we run in like bulls in Spain, okay? Number 1 is to make sure that you know where every single member of the enemy team is before you rush in. This will ensure that you don't get shot from anywhere randomly and you can be using cover to your advantage the entire time. Unless, of course, it's a third party that wants to try to shoot at you, then you would have to adjust. Number 2 is that you should be aware of the enemy's cover and what they are playing like. If they have the height advantage on you and are playing pieces of cover very well, then it's probably not the best idea to be rushing at them full force. And number 3 is being aware where your own team is at all times. This will guarantee that you're never getting focus fired by every member of the enemy team. And if you do, your teammates should have your back and kill them before you go down, or at least trade with you at the worst case scenario. Alright, now you see the name of this tip, and I know most of you guys are thinking, Sweat, I don't know what you're talking about, but I have to reload my weapon. It's basic understanding in every shooter game that you have to reload your weapon, but that's not what I'm talking about by this tip. And what I mean by this is I will see a lot of people not using their secondary weapon like it should be. They will reload their primary weapon in a close range gunfight instead of just switching to their other weapon and finishing the opponent much quicker. I myself am guilty of this, along with about 99% of people that I watch on YouTube and Twitch. It will really give you an advantage if you can keep this in the back of your mind to switch your weapons instead of reloading. The reason this is so important is because every second matters, especially if you're facing a good team that knows what they're doing. By switching to your secondary weapon, you will be saving yourself a great deal of time and giving yourself a huge advantage, especially because your opponent is probably reloading his primary weapon, like I stated before. Alright everybody, that is going to wrap up this video on 5 common mistakes that every single Apex Legends player makes at some point in time. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. And like I mentioned in the beginning, I do stream as much as I can on Twitch, so drop a follow. The link will be in the description. Come hang out, come chat with me. I love interacting with you guys, and I love meeting new subscribers as always. It's been Sweat. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.